YouTube? My name is Dre and thanks for tuning in to my 8.0 BM Hunter BFA guide. With BFA rolling right around the corner here, I want to make sure we can help your hunter get to the next level. We're going to cover in this guide a spec overview, Azerite traits, moving to some talent choices, and wrap it up with an arena commentary, just giving you guys insight into my thought process when I'm in the arena or dueling. With that, we're going to move into the spec overview. So jumping into the spec overview, moving into BFA, we have lost some bonuses from the legendaries and from the Azerite weapon, but I have noticed that some of these passives have been built back into abilities. So if we take a look at Cobra Shot, it now reduces the cooldown of kill command by 1 second. Moving over to Barb Shot, this is a new ability within BFA. It's your focus generator and it puts an 8-second bleed on the target. Bonus of this here is it puts your pets into a frenzy, increasing attack speed by 30%, and it stacks 3 times. So ideally this is a great ability to have consistently up and will increase your damage significantly. With Bestial Wrath, it's still the same DPS increase on your pets and yourself, but now the remaining cooldown is reduced by 12 seconds each time you use Barb Shot. This synergizes really well and kind of creates these tight burst windows, so you're able to consistently be rolling back Bestial Wrath, using it again, and it just makes your damage and output a lot more consistent, and you're not so focused on just a kind of a one-shot burst anymore, which is nice to have in the arena. It gives some consistency to the spec. Moving kind of into some of the passives, nothing's really changed. They have Beast Cleave still, so as you multi-shot, it causes your pets to cleave for all the targets around, so that's great if you have targets stacking up and you want to be able to cleave them down. Wild Call's a nice little addition here, so with auto shot critical strikes, you have 40% chance to reset the cooldown of Barb Shot, so this kind of synergizes really well with Barb Shot and reducing the Bestial Wrath cooldown, so that 12 seconds each time you get another proc of Wild Call, you're getting a free Barb Shot, you're able to keep another stack up on the frenzy while also reducing the cooldown of your burst, so it's a really nice synergy that the class has now. We have seen a lot of changes to the pets, so when we take a look at the pets, we now have them classified into Ferocity, Tenacity, or and Cunning, and you can't choose anymore which spec you'd like. So depending on the pet you are using, you're going to get different bonuses. So with Ferocity, you get Predator's Thirst, so you're gaining a bonus Leech, and you get Primal Rage, which is essentially like a mini Lust or Heroism. With Tenacity, you get Endurance Training, so you're increasing you and your pet's maximum health, and you get Survival of the Fittest, which is almost a wall. You're getting a 20% reduction on damage for 6 seconds. I'm really liking this to kind of beef the hunter survivability up, and it gives them a lot of control during duels and arena when you know that you have that wall as a backup for incoming burst. The Cunning provides you with passive movement speed increase, which is actually pretty nice to have when kiting melee, and you get Master's Callback, which is a great bonus here, and I wish it was baseline in the spec, but there's some trade-offs depending on the types of pet you choose. But Master's Calls back, and you're able to remove route and movement and pairing effects from you or a friendly party, so it is a great ability to have for dueling in arena. So there's going to be quite the choice when you're stepping in depending on which comps you're going into and who you're dueling, and as well for world PvP. So this adds a lot more complexity to the specs, and I think it gives you a lot more options to choose from. Great thing back here I noticed with the Spirit Beast, you have your Spirit Manteel. It is significantly better than it was before. I've been testing it out. My health pool is about 150k, and on average my Spirit Man is healing me for about 65,000. So you're getting a huge amount of health back on a 30-second cooldown, so your self-sustain is fantastic. Spirit Beast also has Spirit Shock. This is essentially giving you back Trank Shot, and you're able to remove 1 Enrage and 1 magic effect. So I'm finding that's a fantastic bonus to have. It's really nice to be able to purge opponents when dueling in an arena. So I definitely don't want to live without it. It's really hard to give up these pets that offer Spirit Shock, because it's a great addition to your kit. You also have pets with mortal wounds still, so you're really gonna have to figure out and play around with what's working best with your comps and for dueling, and what you think or what utility I guess you're looking to provide within the arena. So for now, we're just going to move on to some Azerite traits and cover kind of what I'm finding is optimal. So moving into the Azerite traits, thank you Blizzard for adding something back towards our classes. With the consistent pruning that's been going on, we're just getting simpler and simpler specs, so it's nice to add it just a little bit back within your gameplay. So within my testing on the 120 realm, I've noticed that Pack Alpha seems to be the best trait to have. You can do a quick readout here. It's essentially boosting your basic attack of your pet by 563 for each other pet you have active. So any other pet aside from your original pet. So I'm running the talent Animal Companion. As you can see here, I have 2 pets out. So just having this extra pet out, it's boosting the damage by 563 on the basic attacks for the pet. Now the nice thing with this is you can get it on all 3 pieces of Azerite gear. So I have this on my helm, my shoulders, and my chest. So I'm getting 563 for each piece, and then that stacks with each bonus pet. And we're going to kind of move into the talents in a second here. I'm going to explain why this Pack Alpha is that important. Within the internal, like the secondary abilities on the Azerite gear, it's pretty hard for me to cover because there is so many different variations, and I'm going to find especially when BFA rolls out, you're just going to be getting random pieces of gear, and you're not going to have the opportunity to just hand pick at the beginning exactly which bonuses you want. So I'd say if you're able to hunt down some Pack Alpha pieces, that would be fantastic, because it is a significant DPS increase, and it will definitely not steer you in the wrong direction with PvE or PvP content. So with that, I'm just going to move into the talent choices, and that way we can kind of cover more in depth why Pack Alpha is synergizing so well with the Beastmaster Hunter. Alright, so let's get into the talent choices. I'm going to cover kind of the general talents first and then move into the PvP talents. So in the 15 tier, you have Killer Instinct, Animal Companion, and Dire Beast. In my opinion, Animal Companion takes the cake here, essentially synergizing with that Pack Alpha trait that we discussed earlier. Having that secondary pet is just buffing my pet's damage exponentially with each piece of gear. So overall, to me, having that extra pet out baseline for auto attacks is just increasing my damage way more than the other talents would. This also allows your second pet to obey your kill commands, so you're doing 2 kill commands at once. So during your burst windows, your kill commands hit very hard. So it's a great addition, and I think Animal Companion would be the best choice. You do have Killer Instinct, I would say, as kind of a secondary, and this one adds a increased damage to enemies below 35, so it's a soft executes, I guess. Kill command is increased by 50%, so you're hitting a lot harder during those windows, and it may be better for a PvE talent than a PvP talent, but it is nice to have some increased damage on the execute. But I would say overall, for just flat rounded DPS, Animal Companion was just providing more. In the 30 talent, one with a pack, it was my choice. Essentially, it's increasing Wild Call, which was the passive to reset the cooldown of Barb Shot. It's increasing it by 20%. So you get a really nice increase with this passive here. It puts it up to 40% increase, or 40% total chance to proc Barb Shot. And this synergizing with the Barb Shot and the Bestial Wrath, where you're reducing the cooldown of Bestial Wrath for 12 seconds each time you use Barb Shot, is a great synergy to have, and being able to keep up those frenzy stacks with a free proccing Barb Shot would be fantastic, just to increase your overall pressure. I found that Chimera Shot was also not a bad option. It cleaves 2 targets, it does not bad damage, and on a 13-second cooldown you're kind of able to weave that into your rotation. It also generates focus for each target hit. Not a bad choice, and if you want a little bit extra DPS, and I think in the short term would probably be the best choice. Over longer fights, like say a longer threes match, I think the procs of one with a pack would end up doing a significant amount of damage, just because your burst windows are that much shorter, and you're able, or I guess the burst window isn't shorter, but your Bestial Wrath cooldown is shorter, so you're able to have a lot more burst windows within the fight, and that way you're just putting out a lot better overall pressure. Scented Blood is pretty useless. It's just increasing the focus generation on the barb shot, and I would say it's great to have a little bit extra focus, but I'm finding that I'm not really ever that starved of focus. There's only a few situations where you're really low, so overall it's just not really worth taking. In the 45 talent, Trailblazer is a waste. It's not the best for PvE or PvP. Your choices between Natural Mending and Camouflage. Natural Mending, just each 30 focus spent reduces the cooldown by a second on your Exhilaration, which is a nice little self-heal. I was using this for a while, but realized that Camouflage provides the best output for you. While in Camouflage, you're getting 2% maximum health every second, which is great. You're able to stealth in and open up fights, getting your GCDs off before you come out of stealth, now that a lot of cooldowns have moved onto GCD, and we're going to go over this during the arena commentary. But one big bonus I've noticed is while dueling, if you're able to land a trap and get some space from the target, you can actually fully reset, and that is a significant improvements on the class. You're able to you're pretty much fully healing back up in stealth and can reopen on your target. This would be great for world PvP, BGs, and duels. In arena it would be a little bit tougher, and you probably wouldn't want to fully reset all the time, but there's definitely some use for Camouflage, and I think of the 45 talent, that's the best choice for sure. On the 60 talent, Thorilla Hunt kind of synergizes with your barb shot, where each time you're using your barb shot, you're also increasing the crit strike by 3%, and it stacks 3 times. It has the same kind of proc bonus as the frenzy stacks of barb shot, where you're increasing the attack speed. So it's nice that you're kind of stacking up the crit chance and the attack speed of your pets at the same time. So this is a nice bonus to have. Overall though, I found that Murderer Crows, it's just going to be that flat amount. It's 30 focus, so it's not too much of your focus, and it's going to be that huge amount of burst over the 15 seconds where that's going to be some significant pressure on the target that you're looking to take down. So for my personal choice, I would always go with Murderer Crows. 75 talent's not bad. You get some utility out of all 3. Born to be Wild, it reduces the cooldown of your aspects, so that's your Cheetah for the move speed and Turtle for the damage reduction wall. Post Haste is freeing you from roots and increasing your movement speed, and then Binding Shot has been changed in BFA. It now only roots, it doesn't stun, so a bit of a nerf there, but it still has a lot of utility. If you're looking to get some free traps off or peel for your teams in arenas, throwing a Binding Shot, getting that nice root and trapping out would be a lot simpler that way instead of just running over with a Concuss. So not a bad talent choice at all. Recently I've been running Post Haste just because I'm not currently using a pet that provides a Master's Call bonus. So when I'm dueling and in the arena with a lot of targets that have slows or that have roots, it's nice to be able to break those roots and get yourself away from the pressure before you get bursted in the opener. For the 90 talent, you have Stomp, Barrage, and Stampede. Stampede, it hasn't been good since it was broken back in MOP, and honestly, it's just not really a talent to choose. It's a 3-minute cooldown, and the damage it puts out is just not significant in comparison. Barrage, same as before. It's a great way, I guess, to pad your numbers in BGs, but for 60 focus, it's using half your focus bar. I really don't think it's worth it in the overall pressure. You're just kind of spraying targets, and it's not consistent enough for my liking. I like Stomp. Each time you use Barb Shot, the pet does an AoE physical damage to all nearby, so it just helps me cleave, and it's just providing just a little bit of extra bonus while I'm throwing Barb Shots within my rotation. Now the 100 talent, Aspect of the Beast, great choice, and it has some really good benefits. Overall, just increasing the damage of your pet's abilities by 30%. That's great. Right now, your pets are doing at least 50% of your damage, so this is a huge increase on that overall pressure of the spec itself. The huge bonus of it though is increasing the effectiveness of your pet's abilities. So as we covered before with the pets, tank pet here, you and your pet are getting 7% increased health. Ferocity, you're getting the leech, and cunning, you're getting the move speed. This talent synergizes as well with those new pet talents, and it's increasing their effectiveness by 50%. So that's a huge bonus to have. Killer Cobra still around for those nice Bestial Wrath windows where you alternate Cobra Shot to reset the cooldown of Kill Command. It's nice during the burst windows, but I'm finding the overall pressure with Aspect of the Beast has just been fantastic to have, and getting the increased, the 50% increase on those pet abilities, I definitely can't complain. It's been the best talent so far. With Spitting Cobra, absolutely useless. It doesn't provide enough focus back, doesn't do enough damage, minute and a half cooldown. It's just not worth taking as a talent. Moving on to the PvP talents. As before, we have the same trinkets as Legion, and it's kind of the same. It's never really changes based on your class, and I guess or based on the race that you chose, and then also the arena comp. But for most classes, I'm going to say that you're going to be taking Gladiator's Medallion. It's nice to have the trinket. Now this is kind of where it synergizes with the Pack Alpha trait that I said I would discuss later. So I'm taking two talents here, one Dire Beast Basilisk and Dire Beast Hawk. Both of these summon beasts out, and the bonus here is with Pack Alpha having a 500 damage increase for each other pet you have out. When I pop Hawk and I pop Basilisk and I have my animal companion's second pet out, that's 3 pets out, all getting 563 bonus per pet, and then it's stacked 3 times because I have it on 3 pieces of gear. So it's a huge increase on your overall pressure, and essentially just makes your pets just straight berserk and will cleave down like any target in your way. So it really helps with the burst and your overall pressure of the class. Only downside I would say is you are losing kind of the ability to take some of the utility within the spec. So you do have other nice abilities like your sting, spider sting, your offensive silence, you have explosive trap for the knockback, you have survival tactics to remove magical effects and reduce that damage taken. So if you want to cleanse off, say, UAs, or if you want to feign death, the damage of a monk's touch of death, there's a lot of utility with your other abilities. But I'm finding just because of the throughput of the damage with Pack Alpha, you can't really go wrong taking them. They do insane amounts of burst, and it's really hard to sacrifice that for a little bit of utility. And I'm finding the pressure you're putting out, you honestly don't need as much of the utility. So you kind of have that one option that you can rotate between. I'm normally using Roar Sacrifice. It's great to stop some incoming burst on you. You're unable to be crit for the duration, and 20% of the damage is taken by the pet. So it's a little bit of a misdirect to the pet there, but the utility of being able to stop the incoming burst, or at least stop the crits coming in, is fantastic. So yeah, that kind of covers the general talents and the PvP talents, and we're going to move into some arena commentary, and we can kind of go a little bit further into the rotation and into the mindset while playing the BM Hunter. Alright, welcome to the arena commentary section of the video. I do have a good one for you guys. My partner didn't show up, so I have to do a bit of a 2v1 here, but that is alright. So for my ideal opener, I do like to get the camouflage off, that way I can stealth and I can get my cooldowns before coming out of the camouflage. So I get Bestial Wrath off, Basilisk off, and the Crows off ideally, and also the Hawks off ideally. So I try and position myself. I decide that Locke will be my target. Hopefully I can just one-shot him here. Just kind of creeping around. And so I pre-pop Bestial Wrath here, and I pre-pop the Intimidation stun, that way I can stun the target. I throw Basilisk out, and then Crows down, that way he's stunned, and he's getting cleaved by all of my pets here. I get stunned here, so I trinket and trap, and I keep trying to rotate onto the Warlock. I disengage, and I get grip back, so I use the aspect of the Cheetah to catch up to the Lock, and I try and finish him off here. Trying to slow down DPS from the DK, so I do Turtle just to slow his pressure down. I don't have Trap available, so I throw a Tar Trap, kind of slow the DK, and now I'm just trying to kite him and rotate. He's doing a lot of pressure to me here, so I Roar Sack myself, and I also pet Spirit Mend to keep my HP up, and I'm just trying to get some distance and kite away. He grips me back here, and I'm kind of all out of options for kiting, so I drop a Freezing Trap down to slow his pressure. Now that we can space ourselves out a bit, Hawk's back down. I'm rotating on him. He lands the X-Fix, so I'm kind of sitting duck, and my mindset here is just to try and get away from him. space out, and I'm able to finish the DK off. So thank you so much for tuning into this guide, and please, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'd love to hear your feedback. It was my first try, so it is definitely something new to me, but I'm hoping to create some more guides for the other hunter specs. And until then, I'll see you guys next time.